Welcome to my lesson on how to produce a musical karaoke from scratch. The lesson consists of 3 parts and this is the first part. Do subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss out the next 2 parts. What is a musical karaoke? It is a normal karaoke clip with cover music instead of vocal singing. The vocal part is replaced by cover music played by any musical instrument. Before we start, let's go through some of the basic requirements you should have. In terms of skills and knowledge. Firstly, you must have some basic computer skills using Windows 10. Basic skills on operating any recording device like mobile phone or digital camera is a must for capturing video footages. Lastly, you must have some knowledge on how to read musical score and skills in playing at least one musical instrument. In terms of equipment, you will need to have a computer or laptop that run on Windows 10. A video recording device like mobile phone and a musical instrument to play your cover music. There are 5 steps in producing a musical karaoke. First step is to prepare the accompaniment soundtrack. Next is to capture the background footages for the karaoke clip. With the accompaniment soundtrack and background footage, the third step is to produce the karaoke clip. Fourth step is to record the cover music clip on your performance. Finally, assemble the karaoke clip and cover music clip to produce the musical karaoke. With that, let's get into the details. Step 1 is to prepare the accompaniment soundtrack. First, decide on the song you want. Next, is to get the musical score ready for the cover music and accompaniment. You can either compose the score yourself or search one from the internet. Input your musical score to the computer using a music notation software like Muse Score. The purpose of the music notation software is to help to play back the accompaniment and to create a soundtrack file of the accompaniment in MP3 format which will be used for creating the karaoke clip. This is a sample of my musical score sheet. I am using grand piano for my accompaniment and harmonica for the cover music. I will show you briefly on how to use Muse Score to create this musical score and output a MP3 soundtrack of the accompaniment. You will learn how to create a new score. Input the score. Manipulate playback controls and output the accompaniment soundtrack to a MP3 file. If you do not have Muse Score, you can download Muse Score from this website. After installation, run Muse Score. At the Start Center screen, click on Create New Score. First, enter the score information like title, composer, etc. For my score, I will only enter the title, Twinkle, Twinkle Little Star. Click Next. Next is to choose the musical instruments for accompaniment and cover music. Click Next to go to the next screen for the selection of the musical instrument. For my score, I am using harmonica and grand piano. Enter harmonica in the search box, select it and click Add to Score. Enter grand piano in the search box, select it and click Add to Score. Repeat the same if you have more than 2 instruments. When done, click Next. Choose the key signature for your score and then click Next. Enter the time signature. Enter the number of measures. And set the tempo. When done, click Finish. A new score sheet is created and you are ready to input the score. Before we start entering the notes, let's label the measure number for easy reference. From the menu bar, click on Format, Style, and then select Measure Numbers. On the right panel, click on Interval and change it to 1. Click OK. All the measures are now labeled with measure number.
There are many ways to input the score. One of the methods is using the mouse by clicking the note symbols on the menu bar. Let's start by entering the first note on the grand piano treble clef staff. Click on Note Input to turn on Note Input mode. Select the 8th note on the menu bar. Move your mouse to the grand piano treble clef staff and place the note on the appropriate staff line by clicking on that line. As you place the note on the staff, the computer will play the note accordingly. Since the second note is also an 8th, you need not select the note from the menu bar again. Just move your mouse to the next rest and place the note on the appropriate staff line. For the third note, it is a quarter note, thus you have to select a quarter note from the menu bar and move your mouse to place the note on the appropriate staff line. You repeat the same for the remaining notes in measure 1, 2 and 15. For the grand piano bass clef, most of the notes are repetitive. Instead of inputting each and every single note, you can copy them. After complete inputting measure 1, copy the measure 1 and paste to measure 2. Select measure 1 by clicking inside the measure, do not click on any of the notes. Once selected, a blue frame will appear. Copy it using the menu bar. Select measure 2 and paste it. The first note for measure 2 should be a G8th note instead of a 8th note. Click on this note and shift it down by dragging your mouse down. Repeat the same to copy accordingly till measure 14. Last measure, 15 for the grand piano bass clef consists of 3 half notes and an arpeggios. First input the 3 half notes, one at a time. With any one of the 3 notes selected, open up the master palette from the menu bar. Select View, Master Palette. From the palette, select Arpeggios and Glissandi. On the right, click on the Arpeggios symbol. With that, you have completed the score for the grand piano part, which is your accompaniment. Close the palette. Next is to input the harmonica part, which is the cover music. Likewise, input all the notes accordingly. Measure 11 and 12 have some dotted quarter notes. To input dotted note, first select the note from the menu bar, followed by the dot. Move mouse to the staff line and place the note accordingly. Complete all scores for the harmonica part.
For measure 12, there is a tie for the quarter and 8th notes. To insert the tie, first select the quarter note, then go to the menu bar and click on the tie tool.
Next is to play back the score. Go to the start of the score by clicking on Rewind to start position. Click on the Start button or press the space bar to start the playback. To stop, press the space bar again. The volume of each instrument playback can be controlled by using the mixer. Go to View and check on Mixer. You can also use F10 to activate the mixer. Use the slider to adjust the instrument volume accordingly. Next is to create a MP3 soundtrack for the accompaniment. First, mute your cover music volume as we do not need it in the accompaniment soundtrack. You either move the slider down or click on the red M button. Go to File, Export. Select Export to MP3 Audio. Make sure Full Score is checked. You may adjust the sample rate and bit rate accordingly. Click Export and save the file as ast.mp3. This ast.mp3 soundtrack does not include the cover music playback. When we create the karaoke clip, we will be putting the lyric. Without the cover music playback, it will be difficult for us to position the lyric. Thus, we need another soundtrack with the cover music playback for this purpose. Unmute the cover music instrument, the harmonica, and export another file, and name it as AST with cover music. With that, we have completed preparing the accompaniment soundtrack.
Step 2 is to capture background footages. To produce the karaoke clip, besides the accompaniment soundtrack, you need some video footages. Although you can use still images or photos as background, but footages are always preferred as it make the karaoke clip more interesting. To capture footages, you can use a mobile phone or a digital camera. Capture as many footages as possible so that you have enough footages to use during editing. Also, make sure the total duration of all the footages is much longer than the duration of your accompaniment soundtrack so that the footages are long enough to cover the whole accompaniment soundtrack duration. Copy all the footages from the recording device to your computer. With that, we have completed part 1 of our lesson. Do subscribe to my channel and look out for the other parts of the lesson. Till then, see you again.